Welcome to the remaining part of the week, the second part of this energy read for the week. But with this one, we're going to focus on the equinox. So, that point of, um, you know, just the change of season where it's like sort of a good balance of dark and light, right? Which is always nice. I think what's really the focus, though, that I've been finding is this that now, this is kind of interesting because I think if you talk to anybody who really studies this stuff, it's kind of a paradox. It's really difficult to kind of figure out a little bit. Um, because like some stuff I looked at said that there's no exact date. You can't like pinpoint it. And I've actually, I think in a previous video, said something about that we were switching ages, and that was one estimated date. So it depends on who you talk to. But it seems to be the 2025 for sure, but whether it's this week is sort of like under contention. But we'll just, it's in and around this equinox, so we're gonna take a look at it. So what we're doing is going from a Kali Yuga, which is of the Yugas, turns of ages, and I think they're like 20,000 years, 10 or 20,000 years of time, which makes sense because um, from everything I've calculated and listened to, is that like this has been 20,000 years in the making for this big shift to happen, this ascension shift. Um, the Kali Yuga, which we're coming out of, is the fourth yuga. It's also the shortest, which has been like, but it's focused around decline and darkness, um, which I feel like we're definitely in, right? Um, Then what happens though is that it doesn't like necessarily change like a calendar flips to a new month. It's astrology based in that it's ascending or rising, and so I'm going to say this on Dwapara Yuga. I don't know if you pronounce the D. Maybe not. Who knows? Don't. Sorry for everyone that I. Um, Regardless, it's just saying that it's ascending, so it doesn't necessarily come in to full transition till 2325. We'll all be gone. Well, who knows? Who knows what this looks like? Anyway, it's a period of transition and renewal. Um, and takes us, now that's what it said. And then I was looking up other things, and it said, it's the cyclical nature of time, its importance of spiritual development and moral evolution. That's the time period it is. Um, and as we go through this Kali Yuga into this new one, it's a reestablishment of Dharma occurs through cataclysm. So, I'm not saying anything's bad's going to happen and things are going to end, but like we're already in like, I feel like that low dark uh like place, and we need to, again, like the beginning of the week talked about, it's time for us to rise and shine and start shining our light out, right? um it's kind of like we may not know why we're doing it, but just like that's the calling right now, right? Is to try your damnedest, because the world or whatever is trying its damnedest to keep us in this low dark energy, and we're not meant to stay there. We're meant to like rise and shine and ascend. So now this is the one part I had, uh I couldn't understand the switching. So it says that that's the ascending uh Dwapara Yuga, but then in other things I looked up, it says that that cataclysm and that Dharma occurrence, reestablishment of Dharma, ushers in the Krita or the Satka Yuga, which I always thought we were going into next. That's the golden age. So, I mean, I know I'm not very factual. I can't verify any of this. Um, but I think it's important that there's something going on there, and it's really important. I think it's from what I'm saying is like we're going into the golden age. There's no doubt about that. Like, yeah, just but I think it's just super important that we're paying attention to this date and this shift because we're going to I think this is like one of those things finally where we'll sort of have a tangible feeling of big change. So I let's just just go with that and then let's see what the cards for the um, equinox have to say for us here. Okay, let's. Ooh, I'm doing a portal card because it feels like equinoxes and solstices are portals for sure. We got the Emerald Tablet activations, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, conscious manifesting. Yeah, again, it's that same. I feel like it's almost like we give the same read every week, but that's if that's what's happening, like it's at least the cards aren't lying to you. Anyway, so it's really important what we're manifesting, what we're becoming. We're really writing that story, and I know it may not feel like it sometimes, and you just feel like you're getting nowhere and nothing's happening. Um, but it's every little thought is super important right now. And every state, every state of being of how you're being is important right now. So yeah, sometimes you're not going to be feeling great or have a good day, and that those are fine, and like that's going to happen. But when you do have when you're having a good day and you are having like connections to your intuition and all of those things, start to really spend those days um, rewriting your story and defining the new version of yourself. It's actually funny because I just started watching, but I haven't finished. Amanda Ellis also has a video up that went. I think maybe it went. No, it didn't go with Equinox. It went with the eclipse, but it was about the new you. What does the new you look like? What are the things we should be um, trying to invite more into our life and do and that kind of thing. Very interesting. Okay, we're just gonna look. I decided to use the Rebecca Campbell decks, the Star Seed Oracles, and those sorts of things, just because I feel like um, I felt like it. No, just kidding. I just always like the really springy colors and things. Ooh, my thing is like really glitchy. I hope this is recording. All right, I wasn't gonna do 3 of each of these. I was gonna try to keep this video short, but here we are. We're gonna do 3. Sorry, I can't read these. That's so funny. Okay, well that one okay. First up, well, you can't make this stuff up. Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. That's a really important thing to just say right now too, is that like the energy that has been coming in is super intense. And part of what we got at the read at the beginning of the week is being really careful that you're not being so hard on yourself. So it's almost like in this person is like they kind of when you're it's like they were sleeping and then they levitated and became light. So it's just like almost like try to do this as effortlessly as possible. There's not a ton of stuff you have to do. Just be working on your energy in the right energy. Know that you're getting upgrades, and it takes time to integrate this stuff. It's not instantaneous. I got the Pleiades, which I always like this card too because they pretty much look like they're ascending as well. Lots of ascension cards. So definitely this connection between the Kali Yuga and the the time and space we're in very much could be ascension period is coming up. Anyway, the Pleiades card says double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. That's what we're all here to do. Aw. We have divine help, our star mother. How can you mother yourself? This goes back to the beginning of the week read about like being nice to yourself, nurturing yourself. Those are the best ways that we're going to get the answers we're kind of looking for, as to who we are. As it's almost like it's funny. Like, okay, that's card says mothering. How can you mother yourself? It's like we got a lot of creativity cards at the beginning of the week, and sacral chakra. So, whoops, where'd she go? Um, I think this is like more of a question of how can you rebirth yourself? Who are you becoming? So mother yourself, but allow that energy to give birth to the new you, whatever that looks like. Again, I feel like there's not a guidebook on this, and I certainly am just in the same boat that you all are. It's up to us to complete this journey and do these things, but we have to seriously be doing the work around it and asking ourselves what we're doing and where we're going and all of those things. So it just seems to be of the utmost importance, right? All right, I'll do 3 of these. Hmm. Okay, interesting. Okay, first up, we're going to read this one first. That little dot looks like just a little dot, but it's Earth, I assure you. You can see there a little bit better. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. This is like, I mean, this is the thing. Everything that's happening on Earth right now is like bonkers, right? Like bonkers. The truth of it is that none of it matters because it's important to what's about to happen. That being said, I get it. I live here too. It sometimes feels super important, and there's a lot of things that like a lot of us would like to see answers for and things like that. So um, I think this is just a card with this equinox. If we're working really hard on shining our light out, and not dulling it down, is we kind of have to either not let that stuff be ruling our lives right now, and remembering that it's all just a show. It's all just being done to wake up other people. Um, and it's not something we really need to worry about because none of it matters in the grand perspective of everything that's about to happen, right? We're talking about a shift of ages, right? If it is a 20,000 year cycle or a 300-year cycle, most of us wouldn't have been around to see this happen, right? Or like if it does take another 300 years for the next cycle to come in, if we're still in the human body, chances are pretty good we're not going to be here to see it. It's like it just we're just not at that point yet, right? But we don't know what's coming. um I think this is why it's hard right now to do these reads, because it's like I want to give you guys advice, but I don't have any for you because I don't know how this goes either. I'm just learning. I'm learning as we go too. This is a really important card for me because lately I've been like too down the rabbit hole with the happenings. Um, it's a good reminder. Zoom out. Come out and be the observer out here for a while and actually you'll see how freaking like stupid it actually all is. Like seriously, it really. It's like it's a clown show down here. It really is. Okay, other messages about this. The Star Keeper, cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So if we want to tap into this light and shine our light. It's important that we're grounded. Again, if we're doing things like following the outside world, it's going to, and we're getting, particularly if later we're getting like riled up or angry about it, or how long the process is taking, or any of those things, then we're putting ourselves in a place where we're not able to like have the light come in and then integrate it and then shine ours out. So we've got to be really conscious of, like, again, what we're ingesting, what we're listening to, what we're eating, actually eating, drinking, all of those things. Still very important. Okay, we also got for this the lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Okay, so here's where this is the part that's saying, yeah, like, I don't know what's coming. Do you know what's coming? No, none of us know. So the bottom line with this card is the meditation piece is important right now, because it's not just about meditation. And I think back to the beginning of the week read, we got the Lover's card. So it's really important that we're connecting with our higher self and asking the question, what should I be doing? What do I need to do? What does my soul need? Who do I want to be? All of those questions. Those should be the things we're meditating with, but in direct connection with our higher self only, right? Don't be listening to answers from others, but your true soul self. That says it right there. Soul memories and gifts. So we've done this before in other galaxies, planets, timelines. So we know what to do. Like, even though we sit here in this video and we're like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea. I feel like if we can make those connections with our soul family and um, our higher self, the answers will just be right there, right? That's those. It's not even that the answers will come; it's that you have the memory of it. It's like, oh, wait a second, I do know how to do this. So it's tapping into those places a little more often. All right. Oh, those two definitely. Oh, that's three. I have to take them. They just all three fell out really hard. You can't like it just like okay. Integration is a big word coming up. I'm gonna write this down because I feel like it might be important. Integration. That makes sense though. It's perfect equinox kind of thing to do. Integration. So yeah, we're in a period of integration. It's important. Again, it's like that first card of the ascension. Is like there's not much to do. Just let yourself be lifted, right? Let yourself be lifted. But again, integration is the word on that card. I forgot it was that one. So you have to let the light in, but allow the process of, it's nothing we have to do, but it's like it takes time for it to adjust through your soul and your spirit. So just oh, okay, we got plant yourself here. It's interesting though, because the way this fractal works is it almost looks like a birth canal. So integration, embodiment, grounded action. Yeah, I think it's just really critical that you know, we're figuring ourselves out here in where we are right now. We need to stay grounded here. And then as the answers come through and we integrate the light, we'll have a better idea of those answers we're looking for. They're all within inside of us. We just have to remember, but it takes time. Okay, we got the breathing rose as well, which is heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. Interesting. Yeah, so again, it feels like if you're going to be doing meditation and be doing work on yourself, and it's as simple as just expanding and opening the heart chakra. That's the best, like if there's anywhere that light's gonna like emanate out of in our body, it's, yeah, you'd think it'd be crown, but I don't see that. I always just see it as like this great big heart opening that just like it emanates light. So do a lot of work around heart chakra this week and connecting to your heart, to your higher self, and just opening to that energy, allowing the energy to come in um, and integrate within you. So again, integration is a really interesting word because it's probably what this video is going to be called. But it's really important that like it's almost like you need to go into a moment of silence in your heart and just allow that energy to do its thing and upgrade and integrate within the system. Again, it's that floating there, not doing anything, just allowing. So it's important, I think, through this equinox to take those moments, um, it, a couple times a day, maybe just to like be at peace and listen to what is your intuition saying, what is coming. So we also got the grandmothers, lots of feminine energy coming in then too with this. Remember your roots, perspective. Again, wasn't that card called perspective? Yep, perspective. Perspective and integration. That's this week. Trust the weavings. Yeah, it's part of this thing about, again, this card's also coming up because the ancestors are speaking heavily. That's interesting because I don't think I mentioned it on the beginning of the big video, but I didn't kind of make this connection right now. Part of like I was watching a video. You can go look it up on YouTube. If I remember, I'll link it in here. But it's Tanya Gabriella. She's she calls herself a wealth astrologist. So she's an astrologer, but she also deals with numerology. But she was the one talking about the switch in the yugas, which I didn't know was happening in and around the same time. Again, we're not sure about exact dates and that kind of thing. But it also, she had it connected to the different prophecies of time and the change of time. So from the Egyptians to the Hopi Indians, like go back and again, so with the ancestors and the grandmothers being around, it's important to be connecting and listening for those in that information too, right? And that's the thing, is it's all part of you and it's all part of your lineage. So you already know this stuff. It's already like encoded in you. As this light integration coming in is meant to kind of like open these pathways. These are dormant memories, right? Opening heart chakra also helps open these dormant memories. So you start to remember who you are, what you truly are, and why you came. So if we're doing these deep digs, we have to be we have to be willing to like allow the integration time, but also that's the one card. What did it say about time? Anyway, it's time eases. So looking at this week, it's like, okay, great. As the equinox comes in, time, it's not so like right now I feel like, and we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, is everybody's like, it's like there's so much we have to get done and on just in 3D and it's like it's almost distracting, and it is distracting, and it's meant to be distracting. Um and not in a bad way. We're not criticizing anybody, but and like it's just life right now. But again, like the beginning of the week said, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing everything you can. But time is about to ease up on us, thank God, because I could use a little rest too. But like I'm gonna keep going back to this card because this person is like, it almost looks like they're dead, but I'm not gonna say that. No, it's like, when you fall asleep and then you levitate. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. It's happened to me. But it's just like allowing. Anyway, the good news is that the light is coming in and time is easing up for us. All right. I'm going to do 3 more cards. These are the Ascended Masters, so let's see who we're working with. That's doing it. And yeah, integration. What was our other word? That one. Okay. Okay, first up, We got the blue beings, which are the Arcturians usually, generally as a rule. Light transmission. Wounds are healed. Important information charging up. Yeah, we're definitely going through a shift in energy, you guys. And so basically, honestly, I hate to say it, but it's just like it's not do nothing, but it's definitely just take a breath and ease into this because it's all coming together. The best place you can be right now is in a open-hearted, light, in as much light as you can and as relaxed as you can. Um, Again, not bringing in like not taking on the outside world and all the things right now, but just really being in a sense of peace and ease and grace, because because we have to be also able not just to integrate it, but to have it come in. Right, the light's going to come no matter what. That doesn't stop. It's just how if you're ready to receive, right? We've got to put ourselves in the best possible position to have a light transmission come to us. It's also, yeah, so we're being healed as well. Important information is coming and it's charging us up. So it's happening. It's just, yeah, it's just, we just need to be a little more, I don't want to say patient, but I want to say, um, yeah, oops, sorry. I didn't realize there was 4 cards here. Anyway, okay, hang on. I just want to see which order I want to read these in. I'll read this one next. So we also got Sanat Kamara, open channel, signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. It's all there. This is what's being said. We just have to tap into it. Um, Unfortunately, right now, and I'm included in this, is I'm allowing the outside world to distract me from tuning into this information. So whatever you need to do, you've got to start working on this stuff. It's really critically important. If you want to go down there, if you get down that way, you might, maybe you want to, maybe you think you've got more time and space you have to spend in that 3D. But, you know, I just would caution you to not stay down there too long because again, it's the perspective card. It's not really all that important and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. We also got the Lady Nada, the heart chakra, expand heart, openness, liberation. Let yourself love and be loved. Again, look at the state. She's in a state of pure meditation. Oops, my phone's ringing. That doesn't happen very often. The other card we got is Lakshmi and Ganesh, which is funny because I saw this card in my head like as I picked this deck. So it must be important to read. Prosperity vibration. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. I really feel like this is our reminder card, kind of like the forgiveness card at the beginning of the week. It's like you're forgive yourself, stop being so hard on yourself. You're doing fine. You like a wealth of information and happiness and health is coming to you. We just have to be, open our hearts and accept and integrate it. And, we're part of this light, we're part of this shift, we're part of this like massive change that's happening. And the best way to be a part of it you is you have to be a part of it. You have to be open to it. If we're so distracted by um, the happenings of the outside world and worrying about them, we're not fully paying attention to what could be, right? Or what the information we're getting. So it's just important that we're listening to that. So it does include good self-care, good meditation, good connection to self and self-love, all of those things. But those were quite the good cards. I'm very impressed by those. Okay. We did those. What else do we want to do? Oh, I don't have Nature Rhythm Oracle here. I usually do. I left it downstairs because that's sort of been my, you know, like there's I feel like okay, interdimensional reality. What can I do? What can I shift? What can I change? And that's not an easy thing. Like so, but what I've been doing, the reason the natures where the oracle cards aren't here tonight is they're downstairs because I was like, okay, I usually stay up pretty late, and I'm like, and but I stay up playing games on my iPad and watching whatever, whatever I'm watching, variety of things, different times. Um, and I was like, okay, I have to like, I don't want to say force myself, but you've got to, if I want to make, I got to make a change. Like, but what's something I could do that's like simple? It's like, okay, I need to focus for like an hour a day on just on spiritual stuff or on connecting with my soul or those sorts of things. So I just started out like I got a mindfulness journal from a friend, and it's funny. It only has like per like it doesn't have the exact date. You just write the dates in as you go, and then it really only has about 3 lines of reflection. So what I've just been doing is drawing a card at night. So I shut the TV and everything off. Or I put on music at 10 o'clock. And then I spend that next hour just doing either reading a chapter of something, preferably, again, watch what you're ingesting. I'm definitely reading, right now I think I'm reading The Eighth Chakra by Jude Curran. So I'll do like a chapter of that, and then I'll either reflect on that in my journal in those 3 lines because it's much better I find. I mean, if you want to do pages of reflection, have at her. But this has 3 lines, so I have to think about what I'm writing in there and what I'm reflecting on. Occasionally, I'll go into the next one, but you know, it's a good start. For me, it's working. Um, and so yeah, or I'll draw a card and reflect on it. And I've been using the nature for the oracle because it just resonates with me. So those are just simple things you could do, and it sounds like you're not doing a lot, but you'd be surprised, like because you're connecting in that moment with you, who you truly are, and what you're really feeling, and that kind of thing. So I mean, it's super important. All right, I'm gonna do one more of these. Oh my gosh, I totally got to look up this deck. I just call them the Aloha cards. Um, I hate when you can't read stuff. Yeah, okay, so we've got. I'm gonna take first up, Forgotten Treasure. Restore your power and vulnerability. Yeah, I think this is just really about like what I just said is taking those moments of reflection, of peace, of meditation, however you're doing it, but really focusing on self and what we're doing. And we also got the Time to Bask card. Switch off, tune out, re-energize. There's a lot going on here about just really like allowing this integration to happen. And sometimes it just comes from us um, closing down that brain and not feeding it with from outside and really um, resting and recharging and listening. So I think that's the themes for this equinox. Yeah, that's just make sure you're taking care of yourself, make sure you're doing the work. But again, sometimes the work is just being in silence and yeah, and seeing, and again, you can't be in connection with these higher parts of yourself and soul family and any of that if you're not truly in a peaceful state, a heart open state, and allowing that information to come in because you can't hear it if there's all the other buzzing going on from the outside world. So it's really important this week to be tuning in. That's the big one. It's that one says tune out, but I think it's more important to tune in. But just yeah, tune out all the other crap, but be tuning into your natural abilities and people we love and know, our ancestors. All right, have a good one. We'll talk to you next week.